Man, we got a fat ass white dude that just goes down our chimneys, and people in America want to say that we're not the weird ones. Ho ho ho! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're talking 5 weird Christmas traditions from around the world. Here in America, we obviously celebrate Christmas in the same way pretty much every year because we're boring, but there are a lot of other countries around the world. I didn't know if you guys were aware. I sure wasn't. JK, I was. But today we're gonna go into 5 countries from around the world that have these weird ass traditions and dive a little bit farther into them. Number 1 on our list, we are traveling to Catalonia, Spain. A really enriched region full of art, culture, and poop. That's right, you heard me correctly. In Catalonia, Spain, they have the tradition of the Cockatiel, or the Tío de Nadal. Tío de Nadal? Tío de Nadal? Nadal? It's basically a poop log. So there's a tradition that every year on December 8th, which is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, all the kids gather around and they start to do the traditions with the Cockatiel, which is putting a blanket over this log that has a face attached to the front of it. Okay, they put a blanket over the log so that it can poop out its candy later on. And each night from December 8th until the day of Christmas, they feed this log candies, nuts, and treats, hopefully getting it bigger. And each night the parents will go and take the smaller log, replace it with a bigger log so the kids think it's actually growing. Yet another deceitful parent trick for Christmas. And then once the log has reached full growth, the kids will sing a song to it on Christmas Day. And the song is pretty much just a chant to get it to shit. Now I am paraphrasing, but in English it pretty much translates to shit log, shit for us, shit some nuts and nougats. If you don't shit, I'm gonna beat you with this stick. Please give us treats. Again, paraphrasing. So then if the song doesn't work, the kids literally take sticks, they beat this log like a piñata, and shit starts to come out of its back. When I say shit, I mean nougats and fruits and treats. But I think we need to look a little bit further into Catalonia, Spain. They might have a weird shit obsession, and that needs to be examined. Number 2, now that we've talked about poop logs enough, we're gonna take a trip to the Ukraine, and we're talking about lucky spiders in Ukraine. Usually people are terrified of spiders and they don't like them and they'll kill them on first sight. But in the Ukraine, they have a little bit of a different relationship with them. The custom of lucky spiders originates from an ancient Ukrainian folklore tale, basically where an impoverished widow didn't have enough money to decorate the Christmas tree for her and her children. So she delivered this news to her children on Christmas Eve that they could not decorate their Christmas tree. The kids obviously went to bed really, really sad and really just down because it was Christmas and they didn't have a tree. Oh, poor babies. And apparently in Ukraine, they have very human-like spiders because there were some spiders in those people's house and they eavesdropped on the conversation and they decided to be really generous. While the kids were sleeping, the spiders took their little ass webs or spun it around the tree and decorated their tree. Little Ukrainian Charlotte's Web, but they decorated the tree and the reflective nature of spider webs made it look beautiful. The kids then woke up on Christmas Day and found a lovely spiderweb filled tree, which probably actually looked pretty cool. The kids obviously woke up ecstatic and they had a great Christmas. And it's also said that the family had luck and prosperity from that point forward, hence lucky spiders. So in the Ukraine, if you see a spider, they probably don't kill it. Do they take the spiders around with them? I don't know. I would. Lucky charm in my pocket. That brings us to our 3rd crazy Christmas tradition from around the world, and probably my favorite, and that is Kuri Sumasu Niwa Kentucky, or Japanese for Kentucky for Christmas. That's right, KFC. This tradition of KFC for Christmas started way back in the 70s, around 73, 74. It basically all started in one of the first KFCs in Japan in a village called Ayama. Takeshi Okawara was the manager of said store. He also went to Harvard Business School in America, so he's got a little bit of a business savviness to him. During the holiday season, the first holiday season that the KFC was open, Takeshi was approached by a school representative. This representative was looking for a meal to give to the school children for their Christmas celebration. The rep proposed that they will use KFC as their meal only if Takeshi Okawara were to deliver it himself to the children dressed as Santa Claus. Okawara, being the smart businessman that he is, of course accepted and delivered that fucking chicken to those kids. Santa bringing chicken, dude? Dreams do come true. They do. So word obviously began to spread, and more schools wanted to have Santa deliver their chicken to their kids throughout the ages. Okawara capitalized even further by introducing not introducing a party tray, not introducing a party bucket, but a party barrel of chicken. The party barrel was a smash hit, and eventually it turned into the holiday tradition for Japan to have KFC during the Christmas time. It actually accounts for about 1/3 of their sales for the year. The month of November to December, that little month span of holidays, accounts for 1/3 of their profits for the year in Japan. What's funny though is that most Japanese people don't even celebrate Christmas, so they're really just going to get chicken just to get chicken because it's been passed down from generation to generation since the 70s. So only a couple generations, but they're still doing it, and they make about $550 million in December. So keep eating that chicken, boy. That brings us to number 4, and we're heading to the north. We're heading to Norway, baby. You better hide your brooms, you better hide your mops, because there's witches out here. Norwegian people are very superstitious, and Christmas Eve is no exception. Much like Halloween, Norwegians believe that Christmas Eve is a time that spirits and creatures come back to earth to taunt the living. It's also customarily believed that this is when witches go out into the town to steal brooms to go fly into the sky to do witch shit. So in order to prevent this, everybody in the house will hide the brooms and the mops so those dirty witches don't get in their house and get to escape. Oh, and to top it all off, as part of the tradition, the men are supposed to shoot random bullets into the air to stop the spirits and witches from flying around. So you visit Norway on Christmas Eve and you might get shot. So just be careful out there, especially if you're a witch. Now this brings us to our 5th and final weird tradition from around the world. And if you're a fan of The Office, you know what I'm talking about. And that is the Belsnickel. So the Belsnickel, he's one of St. Nicholas's friends. He's one of his weird, darker friends, kind of like the Krampus. He's just a fucking weirdo. He's usually depicted as a man wearing furs, looking very disheveled, and sometimes wears a weird mask with a super long tongue. He's got the homeless look down pat. So basically, kids in Germany will believe that this Belsnickel will come and tell them if they've been naughty or nice, basically, and if they've been nice, they get treats. If they've been bad, they get whipped with a goddamn switch, which is basically just a fancy word for a stick or a bushel of sticks. When Germans migrated to Pennsylvania in the early 1800s, they brought the tradition of the Belsnickel with them. In that time, it was said that the Belsnickel would visit the houses of children about 1 to 2 weeks before Christmas actually occurred, and would scratch on the window to get their attention. So that's not creepy at all. And from there, he would ask the kids a riddle or have them sing a song, and basically if they did those things correctly, he would give them treats and throw them all over the ground for all the children to fight over. But if those little whippersnappers went too fast, you getting that switch, boy. The Belsnickel don't fuck around. Have you been impish or admirable? But that brings us to a close. I just wanted to go over a few traditions that I was reading about that I thought were very interesting, because here in America, we have probably the weirdest tradition of all. We have this giant fat man with a white beard come to all of our houses with 8 reindeer that he's got strapped to a sled that flies. He comes down our chimney, brings us Christmas presents, and then goes right back up the chimney, gets on that flying sleigh, and goes to the next house. Mushrooms, okay? Mushrooms. Follow me on Instagram, guys, at GarzaNate. Search the hashtag TalkingTommyRot. We're going to be doing a lot more videos. The podcast is coming back in the new year. I kind of want to start to do that with guests. So if you want to be on, let me know. Let me know what you think about Christmas in the comments. Do you have a tradition that's weird in your family? Did you know that these traditions existed? I definitely did not know that Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan was a thing, so I might just have to start that in my own house. But I appreciate you guys coming down. I love you all, and be on the lookout for the next episode. We'll talk some Tommy Rot on another date. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and fuck you.